Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Raw Charge Reviews channel, and today we're taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Cal Kestis from the Gaming Greats line. Looking at the front of the box, you get the figure that is included, along with the accessories and these other smaller figures. You also get the Gaming Greats sticker right here on the side. You also get the name of the game the character is from, along with the name down here. And on the side of the box, you get this amazing artwork of Cal Kestis. And like I mentioned before, by adding more figures from the same line, you can create a mural. So here's Cal Kestis alongside the Flame Trooper. Looking at the back of the box, you get a bigger portrait of the character, the logo of the game. You also get a description of the character up here. You also get the number in which it falls into the line, and a bunch of little warnings. Here's the side of the box, the bottom, and the top. So I'll go ahead and open them up, and we can see what's inside. Here he is. I'll get him out of plastic. And here he is out of the box. And looking up close, he looks really cool. I love the different design that they chose for this figure. Giving it one of the different skins from the game is pretty neat. And of course, finally we get his poncho. It looks really neat, and I just can't wait to see what this figure has in store for us. So I'll go ahead and review from top to bottom. Look at the head. It looks really cool, and I love the photoreal tech used for the face, and I love the hair. The shading is very nice as well. You get this sort of lighter tone of brown up here at the top. Looks very cool. As far as articulation, he does have a joint at the neck as well as the top of the head, so you get quite a bit of movement. So here's side to side, all the way up, and all the way down. Looking at the torso, we finally have a poncho for Cal Kestis. I was kind of bummed out that the original didn't come with a poncho, but this one looks so cool. It has a lot of detail going throughout it. Has a lot of colors as well, as you can see. From the orange to the navy that runs throughout it. And he also has this brown strap that runs across his shoulder. And beneath the poncho, he has this orange jumpsuit as his outfit. It looks very neat, and there is no detail underneath other than that. As far as articulation, he does have a ball joint at the waist, so you get tons of movement. Here's side to side, all the way back, and all the way forward. Looking at the arms, the arm goes up about there before interfering with the poncho, so it doesn't fully go all the way around, but it does stick out about there. And his elbow goes up about there. He has a swivel on the elbow, and he has articulation at the wrist and at the hand. So here's all the way down, all the way up, and there's the swivel. The other side as well. Arm goes about there and there before interfering with the top of the poncho. The arm sticks out about there. His elbow goes up about there. He has a swivel at the elbow, and he has articulation at the wrist and at the hand. So here's all the way up, all the way down, and there's the swivel. Looking at the waist, he has this beige belt. It has a bunch of different pouches around it. Has some tools that he uses in the game. And he also has this loose piece of plastic, which doesn't go anywhere, just for looks. And I was just seeing that there's no clip on the belt for the lightsaber, so there's no way to store the lightsaber if you're not using it. Looking at the legs do go out into a split position. They do go out into a sitting position, and they do go back about there. And he does have a swivel on both of his thighs. And looking at the knees, he does have double knees, so they do go up all the way right there. And looking at the boots, they come in this black color. Looks very cool. They do point down about there. They do point up about there. And there is rock ankles, so he has some cool action poses. Looking at the accessories, he comes with these hood pieces. Looking at the hood pieces, it's very interesting. This one is, raised up, and you can put it over Cal's head. It's in this navy color, and it has this little opening here in the front, and this little peg in the back. And the other hood piece is just folded down with the hood, and it looks really neat, and it has a little peg here on the bottom as well. To put on the hood pieces, all you do is just slide it over Cal's head just like that. and you want to put the peg firmly against the poncho, and it looks very interesting. The other one as well, you just put it over Cal's head, just like that, and then you want to match up the peg on the back of the poncho, and this one actually looks pretty good. Up next, we have the holocron. Taking a closer look at the holocron, it looks very cool. It has some green color going in the middle, and it has some like bronze color going on the outside of the cube. Up next, we have the bogling. Looking at the bogling, it looks very cute, and it's very rare that Hasbro releases, creatures in the Black Series. So it's really neat to see, different animals and stuff alongside the figures. Whenever I look at a bogling, it reminds me of an Eevee because of like the different features it has with these lighter browns, and of course like this bunch of hair at the neck. But there is no articulation with this little creature. As you can see alongside Cal, it stands up pretty well on its own, so there's no problem with it falling over. Up next we have BD1. Looking at BD1, he looks really neat, and he also has, just like Cal, a skin from the game. This one's like a maroon color or like a dark red, and he also has some silver going throughout it. And looking at the legs, he does have a joint up here as well as right here, so the leg does sort of go all the way around now. It just goes about there before interfering with the head, but it does move around quite a bit. And of course it does have a joint right here which you can bend. The other side as well, you can move it around, and it has quite a bit of articulation. And as you can see, BD1 is the same size as the bogling, and he stands pretty well on his own, so he doesn't like fall over, which is great. And lastly, he comes with his lightsabers. Looking at the single blade lightsaber, it looks very cool. It has a ton of detail going throughout it. It has like the cut off part here on the bottom of the hilt, and then of course it has this like silver base going throughout it. And of course he has his original blue blade, which looks very neat. And you can also take it off and have the blade and the hilt separate. And looking at the double bladed lightsaber, it looks very cool as well. It has two green blades, and then here at the hilt, it has a much cleaner look to his lightsaber with this silver finish and also this gray piece in the middle. And you can remove both blades just like that and have the hilt and the blades separate from each other, so that's pretty cool. To hook up the single blade lightsaber, all you do is just slide in the grip all the way just like that in his hand, and you're good to go. And you can do some cool poses like this one or this one. And to equip the double bladed lightsaber, all you want to do is just slide in one of the hands right here in the front of either side of the lightsaber, and then you want to take the other side and put his other hand and slide it into the grip just like that, and it looks really cool. And before I forget, he has this little like slot here in the back of the poncho, and you can stick BD's foot here in the back of the poncho just like that, and it gives the effect of him being on the side of Cal's shoulder. So as an overview of the figure, I gotta say that this deluxe figure of Cal is probably one of my favorites so far. The only downside I had to this figure was the movement of the arms. I mean, being a Jedi, you want to try and get all the movements that you can in the figure, but it's just a little flaw. But I love the amount of detail put into the figure, the accessories, and the creatures that were put inside the set. So yeah, overall it's totally worth it. And I like to do this at the end of the review and show you guys how I display my figures, having the box in the back and the figure in the front. But I am going to leave it here and say if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you like the content that you see here on the channel so far, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to follow me on my Instagram page. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.